Hello everyone, welcome to Shadow of the Game. My name's Steven.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to be playing Alone Against the Flames. So, if you want to pick this up, there will be a link down in the description. This one looks different. If you've watched our Alone Against the Tide, it looks a little more official. The reason this one looks a little different is because it comes with the Call of Cthulhu starter set for like the full-on role-playing game. So I'll put a link down in the description if you want to pick up the starter set, or if you just want to pick up the Alone Against the Flames standalone book. So if you want to pick that up, it'll be down in the description. And first, if you have any games you want us to play, put it down in the comments. Whether it's a board game or another one of these. I have like a few that I have in mind that are like these kind of play-along games. But if you have any that you know of or you're like, this would be interesting to see play, let us know. So, quick rules rundown if you didn't see any of our other ones, our other playthrough of something like this. The Alone Against series is basically a usually solo role-playing experience that uses the same kind of sheets as the actual role-playing game, but it's more to get either play solo or this one specifically for learning kind of like the rules for like a games master. To do the actual role-playing game, and as you'll see as we open the thing, there's a bunch of entries with numbers on them. And so as you read through the adventure and start the adventure, you read the prompt, it'll tell you what to do, and you can make choices about what to do. You can make rolls, and based on those choices and rolls, you'll move to different entries in the book, and you play through the adventure. And either you die a horrible death, or you make it to the end. That's what this game is. We will, after playing the first time and Andrew died really quickly, we've decided that anytime we play one of these kind of games, we'll give Andrew 2 lives. So if he dies, we can choose to backtrack through the entries to go back to a place where we can start again and try to avoid that horrible death. Because these games, a lot of times, are meant to be played like multiple times through, and as you go, you gain more experience, you know what to avoid, know what to not avoid, eventually getting to the end. So since we're just playing this like the one time with Andrew, we're going to give him 2 lives so that he can try to get a little bit farther. Because the last time, he died before even... Well, actually, I'm not going to give any spoilers away. Actually, he solved the whole mystery.
Yes, go watch that one.
Amazing.
It was great. I played amazingly.
It was good, but...
My rolls were not bad.
Oh boy. So, we're going to play Alone Against the Flames.
Hit me.
Would you like to introduce your character? What's the name?
My name is Buster Grove.
What do you do?
I'm a PI.
He's a PI.
Private investigator.
You know, one of them PIs. So I don't know what the story is about because that would ruin it if we read it before it happened. But it's called Alone Against the Flames. So without further ado...
Is there going to be fire?
I hope so. Or else...
Is that one of my abilities is
fire.
Putting out fire?
I am fireproof. I'm actually... You should have been a firefighter who could have gotten like a fire retardant suit. Okay. Let's begin. The sun is high in the sky, a merciless ball of heat. There's your fire.
The sun.
The biggest fire. You feel scorched by the time you reach the bus halt in front of Osborne's drugstore. It's a relief to put down your heavy case and take off your hat for a moment. You fan your face. It's been a long summer here in your hometown, and yet a curiously empty one. You look across the street at the grubby butcher shop, the grocer's with its fading awning, and the shabby tobaccoist. Wow. Back in an era where they had tobaccoists. Mistrustful faces glare at you as they pass, eyeing your clothes and luggage. It was your parents' choice to live here, not yours. You were happy down south as a child among Providence's white-walled houses and leafy churchyards. Perhaps this new job in Arkham will supply the change you need. Yet everyone you know in the world lives here. You know nobody in Arkham, not one soul. You ask yourself one last time if you're doing the right thing. The answer is here. None of your supposed friends have come to see you off. You are alone. Whatever challenges lie in Arkham, it will be a new life and a brave one. A small gray motor coach approaches and rattles to a stop. You put your hat back on and pick up your cases. 263. Wow, just all the way. Immediately jump into
solved the case.
You have finished the game. Good job. 2 young men with sullen expressions alight from the coach. One looks you up and down before heading away. period. The driver also steps down, glancing at you before crossing the road to visit the tobacconist. When he returns, he is rolling a cigarette between his yellowed fingers. He gives it a final twist and examines you as he reaches for his matchbox. He's a thin man in his 50s, dressed in a stained shirt with the bus company emblem, yet his eyes are sharp in their dark sockets. Where to? You show him your ticket for Ossipee, and from there you will connect to Rochester and Portsmouth before the coastal line to Newburyport and finally Arkham. You should be able to afford a rail ticket for at least some of the way, otherwise this will be the first of many long bus trips. The driver scratches the match and lights his cigarette. The end flares as he takes a draw. Then he exhales and gestures to the back of the coach. Luggage rack's up there. So this is the part of the game. Usually the beginning of these games, the first few prompts at the end of them, you'll see that there's little prompts as to what to roll or what to do. The beginning of these games, always the first few prompts will outline how to build your character. Because this one comes with, more books in the starter set that tell you how to build a character. But if you're buying this standalone, it'll basically run you through how to build a character. So this one, it shows you how to build a character. If you've already built a character, move on. So we go back to 8. Let's just jump right back to the beginning of the book again, shall we? The driver smokes and watches as you drag your case to the back of the motor coach. The rack is set inconveniently high on the vehicle. You get a grip on the heavy case. So, what is your size? 60.
I'm a big boy.
So you get to go to the other prompt. The driver continues to enjoy his cigarette, watching with keen interest as you struggle with the cases. You grit your teeth and heave the second one into place. Perhaps the residents of Arkham will have better manners. Yeah, because it was if you were smaller than 41, and then if you're bigger than 40, which you are, 38. So probably would have embarrassed yourself if
I'm a
you
big
weren't
boy
so
and I'm
big.
strong. My strength is 80.
You're a big boy. I can lift them weights. 233.
Yes.
The driver flicks his cigarette into the gutter and steps into the motor coach. Its engines cough into life. You board, grateful that you will be the only passenger for the initial part of your trip at least. With mixed emotions, you watch from the window as the tired avenues of your old home slip behind you, receding into the distance. For a few minutes, you can still see the church spire over the brow of a low hill. Then the road dips, and it, too, is gone. Arkham is your new home. You will travel here and make a new start. Yep. This is just more big text about how to build your character. And, yep, we've already done all that. So 134 is the next entry. So yeah, bear with us while Andrew's not making any decisions because the beginning part is basically trying to make your character, and we've already done that. Okay, the coach putters through the countryside. At first, the interior is stifling and your stomach lurches with every bend in the road. However, the driver opens his window, and by switching seats, you find a spot where the breeze hits your face. You soon relax into the journey, observing the quaint little hamlets the coach serves. A heavyset woman boards at one settlement and gives you a polite nod. She gets off at the next one. The road rises a little, passing cornfields and orchards. The leaves are turning, and the trees are alive with glorious reds and golds. You have just begun to doze when the driver takes a tight bend at speed. So this is your first roll of the game.
Okay.
You have to make a dex roll.
Dexterity.
Just a regular old dex roll.
21.
21. That's a pass. 261. A desperate yell awakes you. You feel yourself slide from the seat as the driver spins the wheel and the motor coach plunges off the road. You grab hold of the seat in front just in time to prevent a painful fall. The coach stops with a thump. Now you see what has happened. A Fordson tractor has stopped in the road and your driver had to swerve to avoid this steel obstacle. He leaps from his seat into the road, unleashing a string of curses at the farmer. You take a moment to catch your breath. Perhaps you should offer assistance, but the driver has already returned. He backs the coach up a little and threads it around the tractor, glaring at the farmer. Oh, maybe you would have gotten injured if you weren't so dexterous. You're doing good so far. You haven't died yet.
Doing well.
You resume your journey. The driver takes the curves with more caution than before. He glances over his shoulder at you a couple of times. Sorry about that, he says. That feller dumber than a hog. I'm Silas. What's your name? The accident was at least as much Silas's fault as the farmer's, but it doesn't seem shrewd to antagonize the man while he is driving you through the middle of nowhere.
Fair enough.
Make up a name for your character. Already did that.
Buster Grove.
Buster Grove! The coach turns onto a narrow road which weaves uphill through woodlands. Silas becomes chatty. Going to Arkham, eh? Can't say I've ever heard of the place. Went to Boston once, didn't like it. Too much hustle and bustle. You got family there? A special someone waiting? The afternoon is wearing on. You see no harm in confiding in Silas about your new life. A job, hey? What's your line? Choose an occupation. You chose private investigator. So we go to 249. You skirt around the details of your profession in your usual way, mentioning only that you have helped the police to clear up various problems in the past. Your heart pounds a little faster as you think of the post you have secured at the Blackwood Detective Agency. You had enough of investigating marital infidelities and bank clerks on the take. It sounds like the Blackwood Agency is just the opportunity you need to cut your teeth on some real villainy. Silas narrows his eyes, but he says nothing. You realize Silas hasn't made a stop since the incident with the tractor. The motor coach winds its way uphill, however your thoughts are interrupted as the road crests a ridge and you are treated to a magnificent view of the vista below. A creek snakes through the valley, breaking the rich autumn palette of the tree line. In the distance, the white mountains rise into hazy clouds. There are no settlements, not even a cabin as far as the eye can see. Birds drift through the treetops and you can just make out what might be 2 white-tailed deer lingering by the water. Perhaps you are making a mistake by moving to the city. Could you survive on your own in this lush wilderness? The motor coach rattles through the hills and Silas lapses into silence. The sky darkens behind you, pinks tinting the cloud as the sun descends. Finally, a welcome sight comes into view, a settlement on the crest of a hill. This doesn't look like the pictures you've seen of Ospice, but perhaps you can persuade Silas to stop while you stretch your legs. Minutes later, a harsh stuttering from the engine interrupts your reverie. Silas frowns and rattles the gear stick. The motor coach falters in its descent. Silas utters a curse you don't recognize and grinds his teeth, struggling at the wheel. You seem to inch up the hill until you reach the first buildings. Low dwellings constructed from a rough red stone. Silas wrestles the coach into a small bay off the road. He scrambles from his seat and makes for the engine compartment. So you now have to choose whether you roll against your drive auto skill or your psychology skill.
Drive auto?
Mm-hmm. I will tell you,
psychology.
If you choose drive auto, you just need a regular success. If you choose psychology, you need a hard success, which is the half number. So you need to roll under a 20 for psychology. What's your drive auto?
40. Drive auto.
Drive auto, regular. That is not a success.
No.
194.
Not a good start for Buster.
Well, this is just like one of the introduction rolls, so hopefully it's not too bad. Silas opens the engine compartment. Silent opens the engine compartment open and sticks his head inside. The hot metal pops and sizzles. He pokes at various components, then withdraws and wipes his brow, smearing it with dark grease. I ain't sure what's wrong. Might be the oil pressure. Might be something knocked off kilter as we took that spill. Can't do much until the engine cools neither. And with the lights failing, I reckon we'll be here through the night. He wipes his hand on a rag. The shadows from your surrounding are already long and the air is chilly. You feel stiff from the journey and a night in a rickety coach sounds unappealing. Silas sees your dismay. This here is Amberhead. Miles from any place. I only come through twice a week, but the folks here are good people. May Ledbetter keeps a spare room. She'll look after you. Up on the alley, turn right, first house on the left. He scratches his cheek. Which one? I was thinking. Looks again into the engine compartment and spits on the ground. Meet me back here at 8 in the morning and we'll see how we stand. Your first real decision. Do you want to look for May Ledbetter's house, ask Silas where he will spend the night, or challenge Silas about the breakdown?
I'm gonna look for her house.
267. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. 67. You drag your case between the sullen buildings. You feel surprisingly weary. Considering you've spent all day sitting down, Silas's directions lead you to a modest dwelling with a slate roof. A nameplate reads Ledbetter, and underneath a sign in neat copper plate reads Lodging Room. The lane around you is gloomy, but a lamp flickers in the window. A breeze chills your face. You are not about to begin your new life by sleeping in the street. You rap on the weather-beaten door. Back to number 4. After a moment, you hear footsteps inside the house. A bolt is drawn back and the wooden door swings open. A figure with loose curls and a rough-looking house dress peers at you. Her gaze takes in your traveling suit and your cases. Her voice has a slight Irish lilt. Oh no. Can I do an Irish? I can't. All of a sudden, I'm blank. Oh gosh. Can I just do British? Hello. Should I take you into... This is a woman's voice. Hello. Should I take you into looking for your room for the night? This is not Irish, I know. Leave me alone. You inquire as to her rates, suppressing a grimace. As far as you've seen, the village does not offer many alternatives. Oh, you'll find them very reasonable. You look tired. I'm May. Come inside and we'll talk over a cup of tea. I don't know what this accent is. Leave me alone. The Ledbetter house feels cramped with a low ceiling and simple fittings, but it is well kept and a cheerful fire crackles in the grate. The aroma of the tea is soothing and the cup warms your fingers. Have you come to Amberhead for the festival? Mary asks. Do you want to explain what happened with Silas and the coach, or ask about the festival?
Ask about the festival.
Let's be a festival boy. What is this here darn festival?
As long as she doesn't wink at me.
That was a big thing. I'm waiting for it. Well now, I suppose the festival is about the only reason folk comes to Amberhead. I thought you may come to study and take photographs. Well, it's not tomorrow night, but the night after. I suppose it looks very strange to a passerby. May tops up your tea. The spout chinks against your cup. We've got the beacon, you see. One night every year, there's a torch-lit procession, and we light the beacon on the cliffs. Doesn't sound like a cult at all. You've never seen the likes of it. They say it keeps the spirit of the village alive for another year. It's a celebration. A celebration. She tails off for a moment and blinks. That was pretty close to a wink.
Okay.
That was 2 eyes. But you didn't come here to listen to me blather, and you must be hungry. I can rustle you up a bit of stew. How would that be? You ask about her rates, and Mary names a price so low you accept it without hesitation. The room is small but comfortable, and the stew dark and hearty. After dinner, you have a couple of hours before your usual bedtime. Would you like to talk to May some more, walk around and get your bearings, or turn in for an early night?
Let's walk around and get our bearings.
Walk around and get our bearings. 75. May's brow creases when you announce your intention to take a stroll. Mind how you go, she says. Amberhead's surrounded by cliffs, and we don't have fancy street lamps here. Take the lamp and watch your step. Outside, you see what she means. The sky is overcast, and only a few glimmers of moonlight peek from the clouds. Without the heavy lanterns, you'll be walking in near total darkness. You cannot hope to get an overview of the village tonight. May's Street is a narrow passage hemmed in by squat, dark dwellings. At the end, however, it opens up. A wide thoroughfare leads you off to your right. A crude sign names it Silbury Street. To the left, a few yards away, your light picks out the crooked posts of a simple fence, and beyond that, the ground drops away into darkness. You take a couple of steps closer, but you can see nothing. Air from below cools your face. Then, some instinct makes you look around. I feel like you might have made a mistake. An ink-black figure stands in the road.
Come on.
About 20 yards behind you. It stares at you.
Can I just turn in for the night?
You form the sudden impression that it will run at you and throw you over the cliff edge. This is unsettling. Oh, really?
A little bit.
Seeing it has been spotted, the figure slips down an alley. Would you like to return to the safety of the Ledbetter house?
Yes.
Or confront the dark figure?
Return to the house, please.
What has Andrew learned from his first adventure?
Go back.
Get the heck out of there. You flee back down the narrow street, the lantern swinging in your grasp. You reach the door and pound it urgently. May is surprised to see you so soon. The air up here can tire you out if you're not used to it, she says. You glance back once before you close the door. The dark figure is standing against the wall at the end of the street, still staring at you. Or is it? The murk may be deceiving your eyes. You slide the heavy bolts into place. May has settled back into her chair, but now she blinks and yawns. I believe I'll turn in. When would you like your breakfast?
5 a.m. sharp.
5 a.m. sharp. I gotta meet Silas at 8.
I'm an early riser.
63. As May stands, you hear a clunk behind you.
Clunk.
You look over your shoulder, but all you can see is a wooden door securely closed. May tuts. The young lady of the house shall have been listened to us. Ruth, come and greet our guest. There's a short pause, then the door creaks open. 2 wide eyes peer at you from the gap between tousled hair and a rough nightgown. What did you say? The eyes blink. What do you say? The eyes blink. Pleased to meet you. Now go back to bed. The door closes again. My daughter Ruth. 10 years this summer. She's a delight and a torment all in one. Don't worry, she sleeps with me. She'll not disturb you. Good night now. She's gonna murder us in our sleep.
Creepy 9-year-old girl. Gonna kill me.
10. She's 10.
10 next summer.
Yeah.
She's currently 9.
You retire to your room. It's a little chilly. She was the dark figure.
Ah.
It's a little chilly, but you are too tired to worry about lighting the fire. The sheets are clean and the bed soon warms up. The silence outside is strange after living in a town for so long, but you soon drop off. The cliff. 154. This one's already creepier than the other one. You survived, though.
So far, day 1.
You dream of fire in the grate. Coruscating colors shimmer through the dancing tongues of flame. At first, they are tiny, almost microscopic, but they grow and grow until the kaleidoscope inferno spills from the fireplace, spreading across the floor and up the sheets. You wake with a start. Daylight glints through the curtains. You get up and examine the grate, blinking the sleep from your eyes. It is quite cold. You haven't taken any damage, but you may heal 1 hit point back for your night's sleep. Man, you could have taken damage already? Oh, I guess if you got pushed off the cliff.
And if I, pursued the creature.
You're already full health, so... Also, it's weird, because you would have thought the flames would hurt you, but they healed you?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I thought I was against the flames.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have taken any damage, you may heal 1 point back for your night's sleep. I guess because just you slept. Okay. Onward. 166. May seems to have no running water, but has supplied some in a ceramic jug. You freshen up at the wasp stand and go in. She cooks a hearty breakfast and leaves you in peace to eat. At about 7:30, you are paid up, packed, and ready to go. You bid May goodbye. She wishes you the best for your new career in Arkham. If you succeeded a skill roll last night and wish to investigate the result, go to blank. So, yeah. Otherwise, go to 192. I guess if you would have stayed out and you succeeded something, I don't know. You didn't. 192. You just you ran away very quickly away from the dark figure. 192. You're already tired of your heavy bags. Hopefully Silas has repaired the motor coach and you can resume your long journey. A sourpuss he might be, but the old driver seems to understand his vehicle well enough. You pause to check your watch, still 20 minutes early, and round the final quarter. The motor coach is gone. You put your bags down and search the area. Trekking up and down slopes and around corners. At the edge of the village, you trace the long road back as it winds across the hill. 8 o'clock comes and goes. There is no coach to be seen. A passing villager notices your bad. Looking for the bus? I heard him take off at first light. He's due back in 3 or 4 days. If you need a place to stay, May Ledbetter rents a room. The man raises his hat to you and strolls on into the village. You curse Silas under your breath. Perhaps he went for parts, but you wonder if the old goat has stranded you here on purpose. 218. Or he got kidnapped by a dark figure. May is doing laundry and looks surprised to see you again. Forgot something? When you explain the situation, she offers to store your bags while you try to arrange alternative transport. You're grateful to relinquish the load. No one here has anything like a car, she strokes her chin and narrows her eyes. But maybe you should find someone with a horse and a cart for your bags. I'll ask around later. Try Mr. Winters at the village hall. He'll know if anyone will. Or ask among the artisans. Their workshops are first left on Silbury Street. She reaches over and squeezes your wrist. Don't worry. I won't see you sleeping in the street, money or no money. Thank you, May. You thank May and turn to face the village. You've already gotten to a creepier state than the other adventure. You wander the streets of Emberhead without any particular destination in mind. The village is built on a relatively flat upland with splendid views. To the north, the hazy tips of the White Mountains reach for the heavens. To the south, the sparkling waters of Lake Winnipesaukee touch the horizon. The village itself takes less than 5 minutes to cross from edge to edge. You arrive on the winding road to the west. The only other road leads to the south, following a lower ridge of land as it turns east. In the southwest of the village, an open grassy space borders a ruined church, its graveyard cresting the cliffs. To the northeast, the three main thoroughfares meet at a raised black metal structure. It looms stark against the blue sky. Okay, you got some choices. Ask about transport at the local general store, seek out the village hall, walk down to the lower level and check out the eastern road, examine the large metal structure, explore the church, look for local people with their own transport needs.
So many options.
General store to ask about transport, village hall, check out the eastern road.
Eastern road.
Boom. Decisions made.
It's probably the worst decision.
There's a dark figure there. He kills you. 115. The air is fresh and the walk down to the lower ridge invigorating. You notice cultivated fields stretching through the lowlands around Emberhead, and among the crops some livestock but no horses. Are you going to have to make your own onward journey on foot? Further down, the road skirts the edge of the ridge and descends. There are a few scattered hovels here with signs of habitation. There are set a substantial distance apart. As you examine them, a door opens and an older man steps out. He wears a bedraggled suit, but carries a piece of cloth which he tosses over his head like a hood. As he does this, he sees you and freezes. Make a luck roll. So you have 55 luck. 50-50 chance, or a little better. You fail. Ooh, you do. Amazing.
95.
It's one of the worst rolls. If you were playing actual Call of Cthulhu, that could almost be like a critical fail depending on what your skill is. Isn't that fun? Okay.
No!
The strange man breaks into a run, fleeing from you along the ridge. His gait is lopsided, but his movements have a maniacal intensity. Do you give chase, or you have better things to do?
If someone's running from me and I'm a PI...
You're not even... You're just like walking around, some guy starts running away, and you're like, hey! So do you give chase, or do you have better things to do?
Shoot. Give chase.
Yes! Yes! The bad decisions start coming!
I get 2 lives.
You break from the road and pursue the man, feeling wild grass snatch at your feet. He sprints around the ridge, attempting to elude you behind the very rocks that support the meadow structure high above. To catch the man, you must make an opposed roll with your dex versus his.
What's his dex?
His dex is 38. He scores a hard success on a roll of 19 and under. Next extreme says, so you get to roll first. So 55. What is your dex?
70.
Okay, so that's just a regular success.
28.
28, which is also a regular success. Parry level success, a extreme success. If it is a draw, the higher skill value wins.
Yes.
So you win. So you win, so we go to 172.
I catch the man and he immediately turns to dust.
He tells you everything that's going on, even though you don't know what you're looking for. You draw close to the man. He glares over his shoulder and sees you. Damn you, he spits and slows down. Can't you leave a fella be? You assure him you mean him no harm. We can't talk here, he says. Follow me. He's about to lure you into a cave and kill you.
Jeez.
Can't you just let a fella be?
At least I caught him.
Some random guy that just started running away from you. You follow the man around the outcrop. He glances up, then steps between 2 rocks and vanishes.
He vanishes?
Closer inspection reveals a narrow channel leading into the cliff. There is just enough light to see a small natural chamber within. You will be uncomfortably close to this man if you go inside.
Let's do it.
Would you follow him in or keep your distance? I mean, you've already gone this far. You've chased some random guy.
I thought you meant he actually vanishes. He just vanished into the cave.
Yeah, he just seemed to vanish. 191. With wary steps, you squeeze between rock outcrops and enter the concealed chamber, almost banging your head on the low ceiling. The man settles back against the wall and watches until you draw close. Then he slides back his hood. Make a sanity roll.
Great. What's my sanity? 50?
50. You fail.
Critically.
Criticals don't matter for this. Only if you're playing the real game.
Bro, 98.
So you lose 1 sanity. So your sanity goes down to 49. If you want to change that, here, take a pencil. And you go to 199. What does this guy look like? Maybe he's horrifically burned. Let's see. Some of the man's face remains. A strip from the side of his jaw to his right eye socket is healthy and pale, if aged. But the left side is consumed by angry scar tissue. One eye droops, hooded by melted flesh, and the nostril on that side is pulled open to leave a gaping hole. The disfigured man studies your reaction with his one good eye. Name's Arbogast. Willard Arbogast. Guess I don't need to ask what brings you to Amberhead. What? You claim you have come for the festival. You admit that Silas has stranded you here.
Oh, those are my options. Come for the festival.
Oh, a liar, I see.
Yeah, you know, I gotta lie to get what I want.
The swollen mouth gives a little upward twist. Yeah? Where'd you hear about it? You say something vague about an article in the newspaper. Newspapers must have changed last time I read one. There's something in the tone you don't like much.
Uh-oh.
No. I feel you've made a mistake.
No, I have not. I have not.
Arbogast fixes you with a lopsided yet intense stare. You seek me out, eh? He looks at the cave ceiling. Which one of them told you about me? Never mind, it doesn't matter. Truth is, they fear what I know. They never come at me direct. Don't want to end up like old Arbogast. He giggles. The high pitched sound. Don't want to end like old Arbogast. Is all the high pitched sound is all the more grotesque coming from those bloated lips. I need some lip fillers.
Bloated lips.
Then abruptly his gaze turns to iron. Amberhead died 40 years ago. Shattered by flames, consumed by the stars themselves. The ancient hill was cleansed by inferno. And from the blackened ground came new life. As is the way of all things. The Abenaki knew. Arbogast wipes his nose on his sleeve. Except none of that happened. The flames were turned away. The necessary death postponed a year and year again. And now those up there, he stabs a scrawny finger at the ceiling, think themselves saviors of the village. They think they can divide the great old ones. I, Kataga. He shakes his head. With strange eons, their lives matter less than the blink of an eye. A fierce intelligence burns in his gaze, but you suspect Arbogast might be quite insane.
Yeah.
Should his mood change, it would not be difficult for him to seize one of those loose rocks and crack your skull with it.
But I'm strong.
Do you ask Arbogast about the Abenaki? Do you ask him about the great old ones? Do you ask him about the villagers? Or do you leave while you still can?
Ask him about the villagers.
Interesting.
I don't want to know about the Abagaki or whatever that was.
Arbogast's face twists, creasing the scarred cheeks. Prah! Their fathers and mothers knew the truth. They listened. They knew their doom and found their place within it. They looked into their own hearts and did the unspeakable. The current brood have the arrogance of children. Everything has been given to them. They assume it always will. He glares at the cave ceiling. They would that I left or died, that I took the old words with me. But mark as I say, to those who live in high places have further to fall. Arbogast runs a hand through his hair. A wide strip is missing on the left side, displaced by scar tissue. He climbs to his feet. Arbogast pauses in the shadows. There's something about you. Something the previous ones never had. Perhaps you can make it through. If you want to hear more, meet me again after dark. 9 o'clock.
No, he seems creepy, but I think he can help.
The graveyard on the other side.
Not the graveyard!
He lifts a gnarled finger. Don't be followed. Else I won't be there. This ain't the time of year for a showdown. Arbogast wipes his nose on his sleeve again. Go now. There's eyes on me. And stranger, don't try to run. You'll never make it. You emerge into the sunlight, blinking and more than a little shaken. You have discovered a secret. Later tonight, the text will offer you a chance to follow up on a previous appointment. At that point, if you want to meet with Arbogast again, add 20 to your current entry number and go to the new entry. For now, go to 2160.
2160?
160. So yeah, good to know.
I've uncovered a secret.
You turn back to the road in your core business, getting out of Emberhead, and tour onward to Ossipee. The ridge gives you a good viewpoint from which you can see the course of the road. It's wind with the hills, disappearing into woodlands for a while before emerging further on. You lose sight of it somewhere towards a second patch of woodlands. By your best estimation, that is at least 6 or 7 miles distance. You see no other settlement or traffic. It may be worth taking a chance in walking. The weather is still mild, but you would need supplies before attempting it. After beginning to get your bearings in Emberhead, would you like to explore some more? You may choose another option from below. Do not repeat a previous choice once you have tried 4 options. Or before that, go to 3. Do you ask about transport at the general store? Seek the village hall. Walk down to the lower level and check out the eastern road. Already done that. Examine the large metal structure. Explore the church. Look for local people with their own transport needs.
The second one.
Go to the village hall.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be nothing bad there. The village hall backs against a cliff at the east end of Silbury Street. It's the largest building you've seen so far in Emberhead. It is, however, locked and shuttered. You walk around it, peering through gaps in the shutters. You see there seems to be one large room, presumably for community meetings, and a smaller annex that serves as an office and archive. One of the windows is bricked up. Interesting. Back at the main door, you see no posted open hours. Mr. Winters doesn't open up mornings this time of year, says a gray-garbed woman passing by. Best come back in this afternoon. You ask whether the office has a telegraph. Don't know. Who will we call? You'll try again later. Don't laugh at my old woman.
It was too good. That's why I'm laughing.
You're back to the options. General store.
Explore the church.
Go to the church. You cross the street towards the church. As you glance to your left, your gaze alights on the large metal structure. Something bothers you about its positioning.
So you back up. Go to the structure instead.
You back up and look again. Yes! Emberhead's central thoroughfare points directly at the structure. This seems too precise to be a coincidence. You press on and draw into the shadow of the church. The building is in a sorry state. The top of the steeple is missing, a ragged gash of splintered boards marking it absent, and the floors beneath it have collapsed. It appears to have torn through the roof of the main building as it fell. Only the back half is still intact. The white paint which once covered the church is yellow and peeled. It seems safe enough to explore the rear section. Old pews are stacked against the wall, choked with mildew. Most of the windows are broken. You guess this church has been disused for about 20 years. There's little more to interest you. Make a ride roll. You have the ride skill?
5.
Nice! That's not a 5. You have a bonus dice, so you get to roll the 10s again. So what did you roll on the other one?
I don't know.
Well,
It was like 78.
so you can't roll. Roll the 10s again, because you have to roll a 5. Doesn't matter. Go to 25. So we're back to choosing. So you have one more option to do, because this will be your 4th one. So you
Oh.
can
The
general store, large metal structure,
Yeah.
large metal structure. You walk up the approach, the most central of the village's major streets. It points directly at the odd metal structure. As you emerge from the shade of the nearby buildings, you are greeted by a magnificent panorama spread from the north to the southeast. The last colors of fall tint the hills in a sleepy gold. The structure, by contrast, is made from uncompromising iron, singed black. It supports an immense curved platform at the level of your head. Further struts snake up to a central point. It looks like they may have some kind of sculpture at one time, but are now twisted and melted beyond recognition. An older gentleman passes, looking up at you with rumory eyes. Are you here for the festival? That's the beacon. When it lit up not after next, you'll be able to see it from 10 miles away. He gives a little nod of satisfaction, then moves on, leaning on his walking stick. Now you notice bundles of wood tied and stacked against the building nearby. Perhaps this festival would be an interesting diversion, but you really must head to Arkham as soon as possible. Make a spot hidden roll. You got 70.
Oh,
You're pretty good at
take
that.
that. 19.
16.
16.
As you walk away from the iron structure, you notice something strange about the construction of the village. All the wooden dwellings are concentrated in the west and southwest. To the east and northeast, closest to the beacon, the buildings are formed from dark brick and clay. Does this mean the settlement began at the beacon and spread west?
Mm-hmm.
You may checkmark the small box beside the spot hidden skill. Boink. Now go to 25. So that was your 4th thing, which means we now have to go to 3. The morning exertions have left you hungry. You roam the streets of Emberhead looking for sustenance. There is nothing resembling the busy cafes of your hometown or anything that might be called a restaurant. It is beginning to look like you will have to get supplies from the general store when May Ledbetter comes down the street with a girl trailing in her wake. This must be Ruth. As she notices you, she runs past her mother and approaches you with a smile. This is a different Ruth from the shy creature of last night. As she reaches you, she stops and stretches her arm up in celebration. She looks up into your eyes. Abruptly, the smile drops from her face, and she looks several years older. Get out before the festival, she hisses. Get out! She blinks hard, then scuttles back towards her mother. Not creepy at all. May approaches, wrapping her arms around her daughter's shoulders. She smiles. She didn't notice that. I guess she hissed it. Get out before the festival. Get out! She smiles. How are you getting on? Have you found transport? Startled, you explain the frustrations of the situation. I'd try Mr. Winters in the village hall. He's always in for an afternoon. You'll be hungry by now. Help yourself to any food in the house. The door's not locked. You glance at Ruth when she has scrolled herself behind her mother's leg. Her eyes implore you to silence. Do you ask Ruth about what she said? Do you ask May about what Ruth said? Or do you say nothing?
I feel like if I ask May, she's going to say, oh, just a child. She's just, blah, blah, blah.
She's just a child.
I'm going to try and ask Ruth herself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. This feels like the most dangerous option.
I know.
You crouch down and ask Ruth what she meant. It's scary at the festival. It's bright and hot, and the flames go all over. Her face and voice are both childlike. This abrupt shift is disturbing. You suppose all children do unfathomable things. Yes. May rolls her eyes and tousles her daughter's hair. Ruth looks at the ground. It's like the one sane person in this village is a kid. You take your leave of the Ledbetters and head towards their house. The door opens easily. In the low kitchen you make A meal of stodgy bread and leftover stew. A little window offers a view of the mountains. If you learned one thing this morning, it was that Emberhead's streets hold little to occupy the visitor from out of town. But there are still about 5 hours of daylight remaining. You could take some provisions and the bare essentials from your luggage and set out in hopes of reaching another settlement before dark. Or you can ask the advice of Mr. Winters. So, do you prepare and walk out of town, or do you head to the village hall instead?
Gotta stay for the festival.
Head to the village hall! Not going to listen to the little girl. She's crazy. The village hall overlooks the lower north ridge of the village. You walk along Silbury Street to find it, conscious of the oppressive black metal structure framed at the end of the road. The shutters of the hall are open, and some windows left ajar. There is no knocker, but a little bell over the entrance tinkles as you push the front door. Inside, a sturdy door to your right is marked Private. To your left, an opening leads to a bright room. You take a few steps inside, benches line the walls, and there are two notice boards mounted between the windows. Do you examine the notice boards, or do you knock on the closed door?
Can I just open it?
No.
I'm a locksmith.
No!
Oh. Knock on the closed door. Hopefully there's no ritual going on inside.
That's fine. You raise your hands to knock on the door, but it opens before you can complete the movement. The middle-aged gentleman behind it takes an involuntary step back, adjusting his spectacles. You hasten to apologize and introduce yourself. He steadies himself and peers at you. I see. I'm Clive Winters.
Buster Grove, nice to meet you.
Just visiting, you say? And you come to see me? Care for some coffee? I usually take a cup around this time of the afternoon.
Bro.
His invitation seems genuine enough and a good opportunity to ask questions that are on your mind. Everyone in this town is crazy. You step through a door marked Private. The other side of the village hall is in marked contrast to the public space. The room is compact, lined with shelves of books and file alcoves. One corner is reserved for a tiny pantry and what is presumably a water closet. You study Mr. Winters as he fills the percolator. Although thin on top, his hair is oiled and neatly swept back. His suit is a sober affair and well-tailored even if the cut is a little old-fashioned. A lesser man working alone might have loosened his bow tie for comfort. On the desk against the opposite wall, you notice what looks like a telegraph set. Do you ask about the telegraph immediately or make some small talk with Mr. Winters first?
Gonna have to small talk him first.
Very curious. Maybe like a cat. And you know what happens to them? The pot begins to gurgle as you exchange pleasantries with Winters. Living here, I don't remember his voice. It's a trade-off so much in life. He looks past at the high shelf. I could wish for access to a proper library, of course, but I know myself well enough. I'm strictly a dabbler. In the cities, his face wrinkles in distaste, too many people. Everyone rushing and shouting. We have a special place here in Emberhead, and someone must accept responsibility for keeping it so. That was my father before me, and now the duty falls to me. He lifts his chin and straightens up. This evening, as the sun sets, look out at the landscape around the village. We have peace up here, halfway to the stars. Are we not privileged? It is not worth the hardship we must accept? He looks at you speculatively. It seems like a good time to ask about the telegraph.
Perfect.
Maybe he'll be more open to you. The telegraph? Much as we value our isolation, we do need the link sometimes. Were you hoping to send a message? I must apologize. The line has been down for 2 weeks. I reported the fault, but of course, they're not so speedy when the problem lies in a rural area. I'm expecting a repair the day after next. Oh, of course.
After the festival, yeah.
I do appreciate how frustrating this must be. The coach is due in 3 days? But I think he's going west. Perhaps you might engage a wagon. One of the farmers might. You explain that you have asked a few of the residents already, but to no avail. I'll tell you what. Miss Winter pours you a steaming cup of coffee, the dark liquid rich and strong. When the repair crew arrives, I'll ask them to take you back with them. How would that be? They might want $1 or $2, but grease the wheels. The day after tomorrow. That's less than ideal, but it's the first real opportunity you've had. Do you thank Winters and leave, or ask about his livery?
Let's thank him and leave.
We've got all we've needed out of him.
Mm-hmm.
As the light fades, you return to the Ledbetter house and eat a light supper. May is unusually taciturn. Ruth's eyes flick to you several times during the meal. There is an urgency there you cannot quite interpret. Afterward, May ushers the girl into their room. You have been in Emberhead for barely one whole day, and you already feel confined by it, both geographically and socially. The evening seems to offer little. So, do you do some stargazing? Do you attempt to speak to Ruth? Or, if you have a previous appointment, this is the time to follow up.
Follow up.
Let's do it. Let's go see our boy.
Arbogast.
Arbogast is not at the appointed meeting place.
What? Come on.
You give him 10 minutes, but he doesn't show. You curse the old crank and head back towards May House. Psst. A hand snakes from a doorway and grabs your arm. You jump at the sight of that half face glimpsed in starlight. One of them's near, watching. Come with me. Arbogast leads you across the thoroughfare, slipping between houses. The metal structure looms at the end of the street. Silent now, but the beacon will come alive tomorrow night. He ushers you into a little alcove behind the village school. Arbogast glances behind you, then sits down. Again, you feel uncomfortable in proximity to that scarred visage. One melted eyelid lifts. You don't have long. Understand this. I was the conduit of the interpreter. Before the fool's winter and his fancy words. The things which come to Emberhead care not for words. Those idiots think this is a ritual of sacrifice. He spits at the grass. It's a ritual for control. They know the words, but you do not comprehend the forces they call. He sniffs and sits back. No! You have no time for more questions. I will teach you how to end it. In the moment when all is lost, you can return this hell to the earth, to the death that came 40 years ago. I've tried myself, but his head sags. I no longer have the concentration. The chant is simple, and I can teach you, but you must perform it with clarity in mind. I have lacked for years. Do you want to learn the strange chant, or have you had enough of Arbogast?
I gotta learn it.
Yeah, boy, our boy Arby. He's gonna teach us a chant. You feel very dislocated from reality as you sit on a cliff top behind a school at night, learning a chant by rot from a madman. Arbogast is careful to teach you it in sections. He glances into the sky. Won't work right now. Clouds covering the star. But he still takes care to not pronounce the whole thing at once. It is a rhythmic beginning in various elaborations, but the chord passes repeated 3 times. Fingla, malakatu, folmaha, karahaka, takatha katoga. Perfect pronunciation.
Perfect.
He's a madman, it doesn't matter. In time, Arbogast listens to your recital and nods. Remember every sound, but never speak it if you have plans left on this earth. You discovered a secret. If your situation ever becomes desperate enough to try Arbogast's ritual, the text will offer you the opportunity to chant. At that point, if you want to try it, add 10 to the current entry number and go to the entry. Arbogast leans back. It will make you one with the living. A black shape lunges from the dark.
No!
It wraps an arm around Arbogast's throat and drags him backwards out of the alcove. He grabs at the arm, kicking empty air. You see the gleam of a long blade in the moonlight. Make a dodge roll.
Dodge.
So your dodge is half dex. So your dex is 70,
so
so
35.
35.
Come on. Yes!
39.
No!
But, remember, we forgot about this last time. You can spend luck
I have to.
to lower this roll. So you'd have to spend
5.
5 luck.
Spend 5.
No,
luck.
4. Is it? Because, yeah, you just have to hit 35. So you can spend 4 luck to pass, if you'd like to.
I would.
A second figure swings at you with some kind of blunt weapon. You shove it aside and scramble out, trying to find a more defensible position. A gurgle draws your attention. Arbogast has a hand clapped to his neck. Blood drips between the fingers and spills from his mouth. His assailant stabs again, the wet blade slicing Arbogast's wrists even as it sinks into his neck. You see faces now, low faces daubed in some kind of tarry substance, eyes gleaming with hatred. Arbogast shoves his attackers off, staggering back, more blood cascading down his arm. The old man has willpower. He plants his feet and raises a hand. Make a sanity roll. Your sanity's 49.
49.
Come on. 43. Look at that.
Let's go.
210. Arbogast howls. Arbogast howls, a choked, wet sound. He stabs his palm forward, fingers curled in a strange gesture. Fire springs from the ground at his feet, a flickering blue wave. It rushes in a stream as if following a line of gasoline directly towards each attacker. Hungry, it climbs their clothing. They shriek as the flames touch their flesh. Arbogast drops to one knee. His face is pale in the illumination from the fires. His head hangs forward, yet even as his hand shudders, his eyes are alight with intractable will. The assailants scream as they flee in different directions, eerie light playing off the buildings as they pass. They leave behind a terrible pungent of seared flesh. Tiny shoots of fire dance in the grass for seconds longer, then vanish. Arbogast drops.
No! My friend.
He cast a spell. The blood flow from the wounds in Arbogast's neck has slowed to a trickle. His breathing is shallow and fleeting. You can see his situation is hopeless. His eyes flutter, then close, as life departs. You mark a moment in respect. However, the attackers may come back. Who can you trust in this village? Do you go fetch May to come here, or do you return to the Ledbetter house and say nothing about the situation?
Return and say nothing.
Can you come help me with this dead man?
Yeah, I'm sure I would go get her and come back and there would be nothing there.
Probably. The familiar surroundings of your guest room are becoming constrictive. The neat bed, small wardrobe, and dressing mirror have the feel of a prison cell about them. What are you still doing in Emberhead? Your new life is elsewhere. You lie on the bed and stare at a small crack in the ceiling. You turn over the day's event, thinking about the little details you spotted. You were certainly weary from the elevation and the fresh air. But do you still feel safe here? Do you let yourself fall asleep, or do you stay awake?
What? I'm gonna let myself fall asleep.
Ooh! I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing. I know as much as you! Your eyelids are heavy, and whatever your reservations, blackness soon takes you. You dream again of fire in the grate, a small theater of lights twinkling in a tiny drama. The flames seem to consume nothing, almost to hang in the air. A moment later, they are around your sleeping form, filling the room with flickering colors. Blue, yellow, red, purple. They dance on and around you. The little tongues brush your flesh. You drift awake in the morning light. The sun is already high, but you do not feel well rested. You find yourself preoccupied with little details of the room, the wood grain of the door jamb, or a chipped handle on the wardrobe. As you swing out of bed, your stomach gives a lurch and you lean too far over, nearly tumbling to the floor. You blink for a moment. Perhaps you have an illness coming on. You get carefully to your feet. The air in the room is heavy and fragrant. You stare out the window until you feel steady enough to leave. Your skill rolls today suffer a penalty. Roll the 10's percentage dice twice and take the higher result.
The percentage dice?
The Ledbetter kitchen is empty, although bread and eggs have been laid out for your breakfast. There is a note from May explaining that she has taken Ruth out for a few hours. If you were involved in a fight in the village last night and want to investigate the aftermath, go to 70. Otherwise, go to 78.
I was not involved in a fight, thank you.
Well, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You got
involved
attacked
involved in a fight where?
in the village last night. So it's basically saying if you got to the point where you were in that fight, you could go investigate it if you want.
I wasn't. Arbogast was.
You were in the fight.
I was not in it.
You don't have to go investigate it, but it's just since you've been through that quest, like that line of stuff,
Okay.
you have the opportunity to go investigate that site,
All right,
Or
let's
you can go
investigate it.
or you can just go about your business. You feel skittish as you approach the spot where you and Arbogast were attacked. Your memory of the encounter is shaky, but you remember one or two vivid images. At first, you think there is nothing to see, no discarded weapons or figure laying unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
But upon closer inspection, you find sticky, congealed patches and blackened lines in the grass. If the village had a police station, you'd go there, but something tells you events have gone beyond that.
Yes.
You make a quiet circuit of the village, pausing in unobtrusive places to watch the villagers. It is rather busy for this time in the morning. Yawning local streams back and forward along the road, carrying bundles of split logs to the site of what you've heard referred to as the beacon. You see 2 figures already up in its superstructure, arranging the wood. The festival bonfire will be most impressive, but do you intend to stay to see it?
Yes, I must do my chant.
You suspect by now that something is amiss here. While the villagers are distracted, you may do some illicit investigation, or you may simply leave town without looking back. You may search May Letterbed's bedroom, go alone to the village hall, take a closer look at the artisan's courtyard, spy on activity at the beacon, or slip down the east road and flee for good.
Flee for good. See ya! See ya! Oh. I'm gonna check out her room.
Ooh. Despite her hospitality, you do not trust May Ledbetter. You return to her house quite openly. Where else would you go? Inside the dwelling is still empty. You rap on the bedroom door and wait. Silence. You ease it open. The Ledbetter bedroom is a marked contrast to your own neat space. Dirty clothes are piled about the floor. On a rough quilt lies schoolbooks and cheap novels. You notice a ragged old doll discarded down the side of the bed. Make a spot hidden roll.
70.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
Remember, you have
plus
to
a
roll,
check mark.
You have to roll at a disadvantage.
I know.
So here, you can roll that as well.
73. I already failed.
Oh, you failed.
I mean, I could spend 3 luck.
But you have to take the... I guess you could. Do you want to succeed?
Yes.
Spend the 3 luck.
48.
You notice scrapes on the floorboards corresponding to the legs of the bed. With effort, you slide the bed away. There is a rug spread beneath it, and beneath the rug, a trap door. You ease it open. The dark space beneath is some kind of cellar.
It's Ruth!
Do you descend into the cellar?
Heck yeah.
Or would you rather give up on this? I mean, you've gone this far, and you spent luck to get here.
Yeah.
The daylight barely offers enough illumination to see, but a hot lantern during daytimes would be very suspicious. You squeeze beneath the floor and glance around. Your first impression is that May keeps her junk here, for there are many boxes of different sizes piled in untidy heaps. It takes a few seconds before you realize they are all traveling trunks and suitcases. There's about 20 of them.
Oh, man. Those are the sacrifices. I'm going to be the next sacrifice.
The implication hits you hard, yet you maintain enough control to check the luggage tags. You count 8 or 9 different names before you stop. Scrambling back up to the bedroom, you close the trap door with trembling fingers, returning the bed to its place. You feel a deep unease about Emberhead and this day in particular. Okay. So once you've attempted 3 of these options, you have to go to a certain number, but these are the options. So you've already searched her bedroom, so that's 1. Do you go alone to the village hall, take a closer look at the artisan's courtyard, spy on the activity at the beacon, or slip down the east road and flee for good?
Spy on the activity.
Very good. Don't flee like a smart man. Be cool. The northern side of the village is bustling, and you are unlikely to remain hidden there for long. You head in the direction of the church, and then move up the east side behind the houses. A drop looms to your right. One particular section of ground is quite narrow, and you have to hug the buildings for support. So, you may give up on this approach.
No.
Or, to proceed, compare your size to your dex. If your dex is higher, go to 42. If your size is higher, make a size roll.
Dex is higher.
Okay, so you go to 42. The turf sinks beneath your feet and stone crumbles from its edge. Alarmed, you grip the building and ease yourself forward. Finally, you have a good spot to watch the beacon.
Nice.
Very good. You don't fall into the abyss of the cliff. You lie concealed in the grass and watch the activities around the beacon. The villagers bring in yet more bundles of tinder and stack them in neat piles. Another shift passes the bundles up to a pair of men standing on the raised platform of the beacon. They are constructing a triangular structure resembling a gigantic campfire. As you watch, you are struck by the manner of the laborers. This is their festival. You would expect a cheerful atmosphere and some lighthearted conversation. Yet the faces of some show resignation and detachment, others a naked dread. You watch for a good half hour before you slip away. So you have one more thing to do. You can go to the village hall, you can take a closer look at the artisan's courtyard, or you can flee!
Artisan's courtyard.
In it for the long haul. Imagine if you're just like, I'm out. I mean, to be fair, there's probably like you have to do something. You approach around the back of the buildings in Emberhead's northwestern corner. By this time in the morning, you would expect activity in the artisan's courtyard, but the benches and anvils sit deserted. Your footsteps echo off the surrounding walls. One of the workshops is shut and padlocked. You peek through the joints, but you can see nothing. Do you try to crack the padlock? Do you physically break in to the locked workshop, or do you move to another area? How good your lockpicking?
I mean, it's 40. But I'm wondering if strength would be better. Let's try and just break it.
You examine the workshop.
Let's pick it now!
It is well constructed, but the wood has been weakened by years of sun and rain. You may be able to break it open with one fierce charge. You had better make it good, though. You can't afford to attract attention with repeated tries.
Okay, so I'll try once.
Make a strength roll.
It's 80.
And
but I know.
You have the penalty.
Want me to roll all three of them together? Hold on, roll separately.
Nope. See your failure.
84.
What is your strength?
70 or 80.
Hmm.
Spend 4 more.
More luck. I mean, might as well. You push aside the door and step inside the workshop. The air is cool against your face, and you see light glinting through the eaves. The center of the room features a raised slab with a slight slope. An indentation beneath it suggests something sits there. A basin, perhaps? Prone shapes are racked against the far walls, covered in red cloth. They look
like an
human.
altar. Oh.
That does look like an altar that collects blood.
Yeah.
And then there's red, clothed, human-looking things.
Lovely.
And they're just racked there.
Yeah. 100% I'm the next...
To investigate further, do you want to investigate further, or have you seen enough?
Investigate further, baby.
Baby! You approach the red shrouded figures, expecting them at any moment to leap up and grab you. There are 3. Each has a label hanging from its toes. Oh, maybe it's just the morgue. But, interesting. Benjamin Carmen, 1/19/1927. Abraham Hollingsworth, 4/22/1927. And Marion Phipps, 8/6/1927. You lift
Any of those names match the luggage names that I looked at? They didn't tell me what they were.
You lift one corner of the shroud. Underneath, wrapped in tight bandages, is a thin but unmistakable human form. You were looking at 3 dead bodies. Embalmed dead bodies. Make a sanity roll.
Dang it.
Either way, you fail. So you lose 1 D2 sanity. So 1, 2 is 1, 3, 4 is 2. So you lose 1 sanity.
Not bad.
So, I thought you looked like a snoop. Like what you found, did you?
Yes.
A burly villager fills the doorway, blocking out much of the daylight. You can make out a dark apron and a thick beard. He steps forward, fist raised. Do you surrender without a fight, or do you fight the artisan?
I'm going to have to fight him.
I mean, you could go with him.
Go with him?
Well, he might capture you, because I'm thinking you want to do the chant. If you get to where you're at the altar and getting sacrificed,
could do the chant.
Could do the chant.
Let's go with him.
So you want to surrender?
Surrender!
This might be a mistake.
What kind of PI doesn't have a gun? Pew, you dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess PIs don't necessarily have guns, but I would.
According to my thing, I do.
Well, you have firearm skills.
I know.
The fading light from the narrow window tells you afternoon is giving way to evenings. Your hands are shackled behind your back, so you cannot even lie down on the rough bed.
Shackled me?
I mean, you surrender to him. A woman you have not seen before comes in. Her face is wrinkled and her eyes dull. They do not meet yours, but she puts a cup to your lips. You accept the drink or reject it.
I don't know. What is it, water?
I don't know.
Tell me what it is.
It doesn't say. It just says numbers.
I'll accept it.
Bad choice. You drink from the cup. It holds cool, refreshing water, which you gulp down. When it empty, she returns to leave. You speak to her, but she steps outside and closes the door. Later, you try yelling. Your voice must be audible outside, but it has no effect. It seems the entire village is involved, except for Ruth, who told you to escape, but you didn't listen to her.
It better not say that.
As the light fades outside, your little prison becomes dark. You can hear much activity around the building. Occasionally, an orange glow passes the window. The only comfortable position in the shackles seem to be to sit against the end of the bed with your arms hanging behind you. You need to concentrate and come up with a plan. There is clearly no escape from your bonds. You do not know exactly what your captors want from you, but you cannot ignore the fact that they have spent the entire day constructing a massive bonfire. Yeah, that's a little concerning, isn't it? But you have a chant.
I do have a chant.
The door scrapes, wrenching you back into the moment. Orange light spills into the house from blazing torches held at the threshold. 2 large villagers step in and grab you. At least, you assume they are villagers. They wear heavy black cloaks, and their faces and hands are painted entirely black.
I'm about to be sacrificed.
Save only for a red triangle centered on their left eye.
Oh.
You try to drag your legs, but they reach under your arms and lift you bodily from the bed. Outside, it seems the whole village has congregated to see you. Every single one has a blackened face with a red triangle motif. Torches sputter and spill fire. You struggle, but you can see physical resistance is hopeless. You march to the central street and turn to face the beacon. Oh, we're gonna chant
Here
so
we go.
hard.
Let's go.
Man, how did we just make it all the way through this time?
I don't know.
You've learned. The procession down the approach is slow and formal, save when you sense weakness and yank at your captors. A chill touches you when you see 3 human shapes carried ahead of you draped in red cloth. The beacon looms larger and larger. Its dreadful silhouette, a black triangle pointing to the stars. A low drone begins among the cloaked figures. Unbidden, the word mourners comes to mind. Smoke from their torches makes you cough. You feel heat on your face. As you reach the clearing area around the beacon, 3 dancers break from the pack. Young girls swinging balls of fire in spectacular arcs, drawing circles in the night sky. One by one, they draw closer to you and touch your forehead with sooty fingers. Each kisses you 3 times on the left cheek, right cheek, then forehead. Then they whisper in your ear. The smell of kerosene fills your nostrils. Make an appearance roll.
Appearance?
Yep, 50.
Oh,
At
boy.
disadvantage.
51.
So do you want to spend... Is that 51 or 7? It's 51. So do you want to spend a luck to succeed?
Heck yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to fail?
No. I would pass.
I mean, you're getting lucky that you're
That was sanity. Meant to do luck. 43.
Through your sacrifice, the village will be reborn, says the first dancer. You pass from earth to air for all our sake, says the second. I weaken the chains, said the third. Don't try to escape until the flames are high enough to hide you. You stare at the third dancer. In the inky visage, you clearly discern the frightened features of Ruth Ledbetter. Their dance weaves off and disappears behind the buildings. Do we trust Ruth, though?
Do I try to escape or do I just chant?
Well, we'll see if it gives you an option.
Uh-huh.
As you arrive beneath the beacon, 10 villagers close in on you. Working with surprise coordination, they immobilize you and lift you up the blackened iron stairs to the raised platform. You cannot help but shiver at the sight of the central framework, twisted from past blazes, and what you can now clearly see to be fastening points for chain. None of the eyes meet yours as they lash you to the metal. The village sings now, something rhythmic and ancient, carved from odd syllables. A second group ascends to the beacon carrying the 3 red-draped bodies. With reverence, they arrange their burden in a triangle around your feet. Then they withdraw, leaving you alone with the dead shin-deep in a sea of kindling. It seems the entire village is gathered around the beacon to watch you burn. Behind the face paint, you recognize May Ledbetter, and yes, that is Silas, the coach driver, standing at her side. The audacity and scale of the deception staggers you. A man steps onto a dais and raises his hand with quiet authority. The frame of his spectacles obscures the red triangle on his face. So we draw near here together again on this night, as we do each year, and we give thanks to the ones who will preserve the village against the fires of the void. You will be taken by the ones from above in our stead. Your death will bring life to our streets and bounty to our fields. It will safeguard our children and our elders alike for another year. We salute you. He bows his head. All around the beacon, bearers step forward and lift their torches to the edge of the raised platform. A ring of tiny flames flickers around the perimeter. As they wink, the singing of the villagers drops into an unearthly rhythm. Do you throw your remaining strength against the bond, or do you wait and see what happens?
My remaining strength. I'm at full strength. Wait and see what happens.
We want that chant, boy.
Mm-hmm.
The flames snake across the kindling, catching and rising. Smoke rises, and it becomes difficult to see the villagers. The three bodies surrounding you catch fire, blazing with sooty red flames. You begin to cough as the smoke enters your lungs and fight down the urge to panic. If you've learned a strange chant and wish to try it, this is the moment. Otherwise, go to 65.
Well,
would you like to do a strange chant?
let's get it.
Let's do it. This would be... He was just crazy and gave you random words. The flames draw closer as you bring Arbogast's chant to your mind. It is hard to clear your head as the heat grows beneath your feet. You cough and splutter, but you sustain the words. Finally, you reach the key passage, and even as your clothes catch fire, you yell for the first time, Flinglu Malaha Kathag Fulmaha Nakahaloa Kathaga. Perfect! Pronunciation! It was exactly the same as before, don't check. The swirling tongues of fire around you stop in midair. The people around the beacon freeze, their black painted faces bleached and stripped, as a second sun opens in the air above Emberhead. In an instant, the people, the village, the hill, all are consumed, incinerated by impossible proximity to sheer combustion.
Jeez.
The essence of fire. Though your body is bound to the beacon, your being is freed. As a spark, you race into space, catapulted through the vastness of the void. The stars burn past you with incomprehensible velocity. And then you are home. Forever you will dwell here, at Formheart, where the flames ripple and flow through immense spaces to the rhythms of the universe, where planets themselves move and tilt through unutterable wheels of fire, bound to the clockwork chaos of the living flame. And among the flames, you will dance. You have single-handedly destroyed a section of New Hampshire and about 16 miles in diameter. This also kills you. The end.
What? Come on.
Man, I think that was a pretty epic ending.
That was sweet.
I love how it says that. You've single-handedly destroyed a section of New Hampshire about 6. So you basically summoned the living flame.
Yeah.
That I guess basically they were sacrificing bodies
so that wouldn't
happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just summoned it.
Arbogast is basically like, we need to stop doing this and stop sacrificing people. So he gave you the chant that he couldn't do that would basically let this old one come and vaporized everyone. And now you live with the living flame in the universe. I mean,
shouldn't have believed Arbogast.
What? That was a good ending.
No, I died.
Who cares? You were the one every time I said you could flee. You were like, no. And it was like, she was like, I weakened the chains. It was like, do you want to break your chains? You're like, no, chant. So I don't want to hear crap. You stayed. You killed Ruth.
No.
She tried to save you.
I'm sorry, Ruth.
I would say, I mean, to be fair, very satisfying ending compared to
the last one.
Well,
that was my own fault, though.
Congratulations, Andrew. You did a massive ritual that killed a whole section of New Hampshire and gave them to the living flame, the great old one. Yes, you could have escaped and probably taken Ruth with you and lived and gone to Arkham, but hey, how about mass genocide?
Mass genocide.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You got there.
I feel very accomplished.